Our mission is to prevent deaths and injuries caused by chemically impaired or distracted operators of any motor vehicle or watercraft, and to assist victims of these crashes in Illinois. We were founded in 1982 by families who had lost loved ones in drunk driving crashes. AAIM was Illinois' first citizen action group dedicated to the fight against driving under the influence. Today, we have over 5,000 members, and we've expanded our mission to reach out and assist victims of impaired and reckless driving crashes. In our Victim Services program, we provide services to those who have been affected by a crash. We work with the victims who have been injured in these crashes, as well as the family members and friends of those who have lost their lives in these crashes. Currently, our Victim Services program is established in multiple counties in northern Illinois. Our advocates attend court in the following counties and courthouses. If you're not sure which courthouse your case is currently being held in, or if charges haven't been filed yet, please reach out and we'd be happy to help figure this out. AAIM victim advocates are not professional counselors, but we are excellent listeners and we always offer a shoulder to lean on. If you just need to talk or cry or let your feelings out, we are here for you. Oftentimes, we first come in contact with families who have been forced into the criminal justice system when an irresponsible driver is facing criminal charges after a life-changing or even fatal crash. We know that the criminal case can be a confusing and stressful time. Many people are unfamiliar with the criminal court process, and that the impaired and reckless driver or defendant's sentence is up to the judge's discretion. AAIM advocates work closely with the state's attorney's office staff. Because of this, assistant state's attorneys, victim witnesses, judges, and court personnel are familiar with our advocates and understand that we are attending court on behalf of and in support of victims of impaired driving crashes. Our advocates accompany victims and their families to the court hearings and track the case disposition. We are there to offer clarification, explanations, and act as an ally through a very confusing process. Many families affected by an impaired or reckless driving crash experience both the criminal court system as well as the civil court system. AAIM's advocates will be there for you through both of these. During the criminal court process, it can feel as though the court and the judge are focused only on the defendant. Victim impact statements are one way for families to have their voices heard throughout this process. These statements are written, personal accounts by a victim of how his or her life has been affected by this devastating tragedy. The state's attorney's office often give victims and their families guidelines for writing these statements and when they will be read to the court, which can vary from courtroom to courtroom. AAIM advocates are here to help you through that entire process, from starting to think about what you want to write, writing and typing your statement, attending the hearings when they are read, and even helping read them, should you want that. Under the Victims' Rights Amendments to the Illinois Constitution, this statement becomes a permanent part of the defendant's record and is sometimes read before or during the defendant's sentencing hearing. AAIM advocates understand that the court case is not the only thing happening after an unexpected, life-changing crash. Our advocates offer assistance in obtaining referrals for other needs that families face, including counseling, resources, legal referrals, financial assistance, and many other things. Our resources are only recommendations and are not affiliated with AAIM in any way. In fact, many of AAIM's referrals have been suggested to us by victims who have previously used those services. Families of crash victims may wish to build public memorials for their lost loved ones, but temporary memorials are often taken down by city workers. Over the years, AAIM has been part of a task force that proposed legislation to allow families to put up roadside memorial markers in honor of their loved ones. This Illinois Department of Transportation program helps to acknowledge crash victims in a dignified manner. The uniform, easily recognizable signs also create awareness of the dangers of impaired and reckless driving and will help prevent these tragedies. Our AIM advocates have experience with assisting victims and their families in filling out these applications and getting the necessary paperwork and information to complete them. If your family would like to apply for this program, our AIM advocates are happy to help.
Many people feel that sharing their personal story with others can help them through their grieving process. Sharing one's story can be a useful tool for moving through the overwhelming emotional pain that accompanies the tragic loss of a loved one due to an impaired or reckless driver. It may also help promote personal healing. AIM hosts victim impact panels. This is where we present to offenders to show them the devastation caused and encourage them to change their behaviors. Many attendees have expressed that hearing personal stories from victims has helped them change. Of the victims who have spoken at these victim impact panels, many have expressed how positive of an experience it was to be able to make a difference and be an active part of preventing impaired driving crashes. AIM also hosts other opportunities for victims to share their stories, including events where we present to students, to community groups, and to law enforcement. Another program that AIM offers is our Grief Support Group. This group meets monthly and is open to all those affected by the devastation of an impaired or reckless driving crash, those who have lost loved ones, and those who have been injured in an impaired or reckless driving crash. During the COVID outbreak, we have moved our in-person group meeting to virtual meetings. We will resume monthly in-person meetings in March. Our virtual meetings are currently being held once a month and will continue after March as well. Our victim advocates also offer an online Facebook grief group for victims. We are also working on starting our grief group specifically for those injured in impaired and reckless driving crashes. The purpose of the Grief Support Group is to provide a safe place for victims to express their thoughts and feelings, and to offer support, comfort, understanding, and encouragement. Our goal of the group meetings is to help victims of impaired driving crashes recover emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally from their loss. We cannot change what happened, but we want to create a space where victims may learn how to love, laugh, and have peace in their lives again. We hope to enable all to live a peaceful life where they are able to remember the happy times. We do not want victims to forget the crash, but we want to help them release the pain associated with it and to bond with others who understand. In these meetings, we share our experiences, strengths, and hope to help others ourselves. We are not professional counselors, nor do we claim to be. This is a self-help group, and we only share our stories with one another. Our grief group topics change from month to month, and some of the topics we have covered include surviving the holidays, how our grieving has affected our loved ones, journaling, coping skills, dealing with our anger, and how do we keep memories of our loved ones alive. In addition to our grief support group, AIM Victim Advocates host other events for group support, including our annual picnic and pizza party. These events allow victims to engage with and meet others who have experienced a tragedy similar to theirs in an informal group environment. We also co-host other events like the candlelight ceremony for victims of impaired and distracted driving crashes, sponsored by Illinois Secretary of State Jesse White, every December. Last year, we hosted a short virtual version of this event, which can be viewed at the link posted below this video. Oftentimes, victims want to honor their loved ones through fundraisers, scholarships, or other community events. AIM Victim Advocates assist our clients with these process from getting started through even hosting a table during the event. AIM also hosts an annual award and fundraising banquet. The funds raised from this event go directly to the Victim Assistance Fund. At the benefit, we recognize individuals and groups for their efforts throughout the year toward AIM's mission. We honor law enforcement officers who keep our roads safe, assistant state's attorneys who ensure that justice is served, and our very own AAIM staff and volunteers who support our victims and families. All of our clients, their friends, and their families are invited to attend and enjoy this yearly event, and some kindly volunteer their time toward making this event a success.